Hi guys, Ghost here. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a Flappy Bird game. In this tutorial, we're going to be going over the bird physics as well as the pillars. So, let's get right on with it. So, we're going to create a new sprite. Let's call it Flappy Bird. Okay, great. And here we're just going to design our bird. I'm gonna make mine very simple. Actually, let's see if they got a chicken here, because I need to be using a beautiful chicken. Great, wonderful. I like this. This looks good. But what I am going to do is change it a bit so that its legs are kind of wings are going down. That is going to look up a bit, maybe. Ungroup this. I'm gonna make the eyes go here and make them just a bit cuter. Just this, but a little bit lighter than colored. And then I'm gonna add like a cool little. There we go. That looks way cuter now. I'm gonna add another little curly there. There we go. That's it. Easy peasy. Oh yeah, I forgot. Make sure your bird is centered in the editor and that it's facing towards the right. I am done with my bird. Let's just also call the costume bird. So, go into your code, go into events. So, when flag clicked, let's move this guy to where we want him to start at for a game. Oh yeah, and I feel like this is a bit too big. So, I'm gonna make him tinier. There. No, that's a bit too small. There we go. Now looks great. Anyway, so when flag clicked, I'm gonna move him to where we want him to start at. Then go into motions, grab a go to X and Y block. And change the Y to 0 if it isn't already 0. Now we're gonna go to variables. I'm just gonna delete this one here. I'm gonna make a new variable called Y velocity. Make sure for this sprite only box is clicked, and then click OK. Make sure to save consistently so that nothing happens. Oh yeah, don't forget to name your project as well. So let Flappy Bird. Great. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put set Y velocity to 0. Go to control, grab a forever block. Now we're gonna put in it, change Y velocity by 0.07. Then we're gonna go to motion. We're gonna do a change Y by 10 block, and then we're gonna put in a Y velocity there. Now if you play it, I want to make this a bit bigger, so 0.8. Sounds good. What about we make it 1? Oh no, not that one. Let's put it -1. Okay. You might be asking what's going on here. So, this part here, it just sets up our thing. Sets it up at the center so that you just don't die automatically. And it sets our variable to 0. Why? Because this variable here acts as our gravity. If the gravity is already like -10, it'll immediately go down super fast. For example, I'm gonna literally do that for you. Try this. He falls faster. Almost no chance for our player to survive. So, I'm gonna set it to 0. Now, yeah, I'm gonna set this to 0.8. Now what this does is, it changes our y velocity by 0.8. And then changes the y by y velocity, as you can see here. Basically means that it falls faster every single time it runs. Actually, 2 times faster. Because in real life, things don't fall at a constant pace. When you originally drop them, they start out slow, but they gain momentum. As you can see here, they fall faster. I don't know why it feels so slow to me. Okay, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna keep it at 0.08. Negative 0.08 for now. So yeah. So now we're going to make a new one. Call it, we're gonna put a when flag clicked forever. A if mouse down. We are going to make sure it's set and not change. We're going to put set y velocity to 8. And then we're going to put in a wait until operators not mouse down. We play these two at the same time. We play these two at the same time. That is literally it. We are done. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just kidding. What this does is, since we've got this gravity here, it sets our like y velocity to 8. And in the y dimension, if it's positive, it means it will go up. And since we have our change y by y velocity here, it'll make it keep going upwards. But you still have that gravity force here. The wait until mouse down, it's just so that this doesn't happen where you just float up. And let's say if you put this inside here. What this wait until not mouse down block does is it stops it until the condition inside is met. Which means if you play it, it'll feel more laggy. As you can see, it stops a bit. That's the problem. That's why you better put it in a different one, so that it works well. Okay, that's great. Now, if you've seen the actual game, you know that our bird will point upwards when it jumps and it will point downwards when it falls. This is fairly simple to code. What we can do is go to motion, point in direction, go to operators, gonna do a plus. Okay, we're gonna put 90 plus. Gonna put in a multiply block. I'm gonna put in like 1.3 possibly. We'll put in a y velocity. Now let's try this. Ooh, I forgot something. I'm gonna have to put a negative here. Now if we see. Now, what this basically does is start off with our y velocity, right? Which is this humongous number. This negative the 1.3 part, it amplifies it. It makes it bigger. Because if you put -1, explain why you put -1. If you put that, the turning is very subtle. But if you make it -1.5 or something like that, you can see that the direction is more amplified. What's the negative for? Well, let's say we do it with this. See? It turns opposite. If you fall, you turn to the left instead of going up. Vice versa when you're jumping. And when you multiply something by a -1 or something, or any negative number, it turns the value to the opposite of what it would be if it was positive. Another reason why, because, well, if you're going to subtract something, which is basically the y velocity, because it's a negative number, it will keep looking upwards. That's the reason why we add this, because a negative number times a negative number is a positive number, which means it'll add. It's just a bunch of math, basically. Bunch of math. So, now that I'm gonna actually make this 0.2. Now that we got that covered, we're going to start making our pillars. So we're gonna go to paint, create a new sprite, call it pillars. So now, I'm just gonna do my pillars. I'm gonna make them red, because I like red. Red's a good color. We're gonna try to make them really long. This part. Then that little edge there that Flappy Bird is known for. I mean, you can recognize it. There's a reason why we want this to be big. So yeah, make sure it's big. Instead of making it black, I'm just gonna make it a darker red. That's looking good already. And I feel like that's a bit too thick. Thick for my tastes. So we're gonna make it smaller. Group it. Then I'm just gonna put it at the center, 'cause yeah, we're gonna copy and paste another version. Look vertically, and then I'm gonna use the down arrow to move it downwards. You might be asking, why don't you just copy and paste it and move it? Well, because if I put it into the center, it assures me that they both are literally pixel perfect here, and that it's not like this. And then the down arrows, so that, like, let's say if I move it like this, you can see that I'm accidentally moving to the right. Computers can do every pixel perfect thing for us. So once you've got it like about a good enough distance, I'm gonna press Control and A. It's just a shortcut to select everything. Let's group it all, and then we're going to center it. Wonderful. If you don't like that gap, you can certainly ungroup it. Make it bigger. Yeah, because I don't like how small that is. And I am going to make it a bit skinnier as well because it's too thick for my tastes. Save now. Ooh, I think it undid it for some reason. So, now what we're gonna do, start coding our pillar. Okay guys, so what we're gonna do is when flag clicked, good looks, we're gonna hide. And then I'm gonna put a forever wait. One second is good. And then we're gonna put a create clone of myself. What this does is, well, yeah, it makes various copies of itself because you just don't have one pillar going across. You have multiple, and this takes care of that. This wait 1 second, determines how fast each clone is made. And it also indirectly makes the distance between each pillar. Smaller the number, the faster the clones are made, which means there's going to be less gap. So, yeah. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put a when I start as a clone. Try to move this far away as we can. The farthest we can get is 259. Let's try 265. Yeah, you can't go anymore. So we're gonna go to motion, go to X 269. 59. Anyway, we're gonna get a pick random, -150 to 150. What this does is it varies the distance. And I'm gonna try to make this smaller. That see, gives us various different lengths. And now I'm gonna tell you why we needed a very long strip. Is because, let's say the Y position is all the way at 120, we don't want just a tiny bit showing because, well, it'll just look weird. But if it does show, you can either make it bigger, which is kind of hard if it's hard for you. You could also just make this smaller. So instead of -120, you could put -100 to 100 or something like that. So we're gonna put that there. We're gonna do a control, repeat until, go to operators, get this block here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move our pillar all the way to the left side. We're gonna the farthest it can go. And then to the farthest it can go, we're just gonna add 5 to that. So -259 plus 5 is -254. So -250. Now I'm gonna get a Y position. So repeat until Y position is smaller than this, because after it goes to the left edge, it just has to go away all the way back or something. Forget I said that. Anyway, we're gonna do a change X by -10. If we try this, oof. Oh no, we forgot the most important part. We have to make sure our pillars are actually showing. So, okay, that's super fast. And they are also not... They're super fast, so I'm gonna put -5 instead. we could also do is we're gonna have to put a delete this clone here. Oh yeah, I also forgot. Let's make this, instead of 1, we're gonna put 1.5 because they're a bit too close for my liking, but you can change it. Okay, people, I'm very dumb. I accidentally put Y position where I should have put X position. I am sorry for that trouble. So, now if you play it, it definitely works. Watch. And it disappears. Let's actually make this a bit bigger. We're going to put negative 254 from before. That rhymes. See here. Our game is working perfectly. Yippee. That is just wonderful. Okay, so that is it for today, guys. In the next video, I am going to be fixing some of the weird glitches, like it just appearing and disappearing at random. And we're going to be adding a moving background as well to make it that extra oomph. So, yeah, guys, thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye.